Hi there, my name is Matti Sulanto, and in this video I'm gonna take a look at this Feelworld MA6P on-camera monitor. But before I continue, please consider subscribing to my channel and tap the bell icon down there so you won't miss any of my future videos. Then I also have a disclaimer. I've been looking to buy something like this similar monitor for some time. And then all of a sudden I got a message from the manufacturer and they were asking if I'd like to review this monitor. So I agreed because their timing was more than perfect. However, I'm not getting paid. I got to keep the monitor, but I'm not getting paid. And what I'm about to say is my honest opinion on this product. There's also a link down in the description to their online store, but I'm also not getting anything from that. And now let's get to the product itself. Before I go into the specifications, let's first take a look what's in the box when you buy this monitor. There is of course the monitor itself, then there are two HDMI cables from full size to HDMI mini and then another from full size to HDMI micro. Unfortunately, there is no cable from full size to full size HDMI connectors, so if you have a camera like the Lumix S1R or Lumix S1 or the GH5S for example, you need to get another cable to be able to connect the monitor to those cameras. Then there is the tilt arm to mount the monitor on your camera's hot shoe or cold shoe. Then there is a carrying bag or pouch, and then there's the shade and the manual of course. The battery or the charger are not included, but you can use either Sony NP-F or Canon LPE6 batteries, both of which are very common battery types, and you may even have one of those if you're using LED lights. Now let's go through some of the specifications and features of this monitor, but I'm not gonna go through all of them because that would just take too much time. Please click the link down below to find out all the specifications and features, and there you can also download the manual if you're interested. The price of this monitor is around 160 euros or dollars, give or take, depending on your region, so it's pretty reasonably priced. But what do you get for the money? Let's have a look. The screen of this monitor is 5.5 inches. And the resolution is Full HD, 1920 by 1080, but you can feed in 4K UHD up to 30p or 4K DCI up to 24p. There are two HDMI connectors on the side, both in and out, and then there is a power in and out connector. The out connector is handy if you want to power your camera from the same power source as you are powering the monitor. And then there's a headphone connector also, which is handy because there are still many cameras that don't have a headphone connector. And then there's a USB connector for updating the firmware. This monitor weighs in at about 175 grams without a battery, so it should be suitable also for gimbal work. I don't own a gimbal, so I don't know how it would work, but I assume that because of the lightweight, especially if you power the monitor with an external battery through the power input, you could well use this on a gimbal as well. Okay, then let's take a look at the mechanical construction of this monitor. The main material is plastic, but it feels pretty solid and not cheap at all. The bezels are reasonably thin and the screen feels nicely, almost the full front part of the monitor. The buttons on the top, they have a nice short throw and a nice solid click to confirm your input. The battery was really stiff to attach at first when this was new right out of the box. But after some use, it loosened up nicely and now the fit is just about right. The shade attaches by Velcro and it seems to stick in place pretty well and it doesn't come loose by accident. The cold shoe mount of the arm is a little bit tight. I couldn't fit it on my Lumix S1R or my GH5S. It would only need a little bit of filing, maybe take off 1/10 of a millimeter or so to make it fit. But it would be nice if it was a little bit looser straight out from the box. And then there's the wing nut that is used to tighten the monitor in place. If there's anything attached to the cold shoe of the arm, the wing nut has no room to rotate freely. Fortunately, you can pull out the wing nut, the nut part, and move it on the nut itself, but it would be, I think, better solution to have maybe a double-sided symmetrical wing nut that would have room to rotate freely even if there's a microphone attached to the cold shoe of the arm. What about the ergonomics or the usability then? There are 7 buttons on top of the monitor, 6 of which are used to navigate through the menus and the user interface, and 1 is for the power on and off. But you can also have the power to turn on automatically when it detects an input signal. The menu shows up in a floating window that you can place anywhere on the screen, and you can also change the transparency of the floating menu window. The menus are reasonably easy to navigate through using the buttons on the top of the monitor. One of the buttons is a dedicated function button, and 2 other buttons have a double function, either navigate through the menu or act as a function button, and you can customize these function buttons to your liking. On F1 I have the histogram, on F2 I have the false colors, and on F3 I have the flip. So when I'm filming myself and I flip the screen face forward, I can have the picture the right way up. It would be really nice if the monitor could recognize its orientation automatically, but I guess you can't have everything for this price. The image quality is really good, at least to my eyes, and considering the price point. And the brightness is really good too, and the supplied hood is deep enough to keep the screen in the shade even in the brightest sunshine. Just in case you've been wondering if an external monitor would be useful for you, I can tell you that if you are making videos on a regular basis, you should definitely consider getting one of these. Maybe this one or something similar, because an external monitor like this, it makes your life a lot easier. It's so much nicer to check the focus and check everything on a big bright screen like this. The power consumption is about 9 watts, and I got about 2 hours of operating time with the 22 milliamp hours Sony NP-F battery. So if you have a little bit bigger battery, like 400 milliamp hour or so, I guess you should get about 1 full working day's worth of operating time with 2 of those larger batteries. My conclusion with this Feelworld MA6P on-camera monitor is that it's a pretty decent monitor for somebody like me who's not a full-time video professional. I guess if you are a hardcore full-time video professional or filmmaker, you're gonna want something a little bit sturdier or something a little bit bigger. But if you're looking to buy an affordable on-camera monitor and you're somebody like me, a YouTuber and a part-time video maker, I think this monitor is definitely worth taking a look at. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.